One of my viewers, Janaki Raman Nellisheri, have asked in a comment that what is a tempo that you advise for beginners? Please do a short video on playing with different tempo for us to understand. Yeah, so there is no recommended tempo or anything, but the idea of using tempo is, in music there is a concept called interval recognition. But in talam, after one beat, how long it takes for another beat, right? So the difference, the interval between each beat is considered to be talam, and if you don't understand the interval, then you're out of tempo. So for any beginner, it is recommended to go really slow when you practice. There are two reasons. One is, the slower it gets, your brain's comprehension is limited. Like, say for example, if you, as I mentioned in another video, which is understanding talam, I think I mentioned that you can understand or you can comprehend 60 beats per minute, which is 1 second. 1 second is the gap for 60 beats per minute. Per minute there are 60 beats, which makes 1 minute. 60 seconds it is. So your brain can actually count it. It's easy. Somewhat easy, not for everyone, but it's somewhat easy for most of the people. 90% of people can actually count each. They can look at the clock and count seconds. It's still comprehensible, but it is not comprehensible to count 2 beats per minute, which is, you cannot calculate like with your brain. You can maybe look at the clock and then trace 30 seconds and then put 1 beat, but that's not, your brain is not comprehensible enough for it to understand that two beats in a minute, or even 10 beats a minute. It's not that easy, right? So the slower you go, your comprehension to understanding talam increases. Do not go very slow all of a sudden, right? You can start off somewhere between 45 to 50, or usually I say 60 is a good thing to start off with, but still, if you feel 60 to be a little more faster, start off with 50 or 45. And I also want to emphasize here that if you are using 60 beats per minute, divide it again to 4 quarters. So let's say if that is your tempo, play 1 quarter of a note in that particular beat. Sa, instead of playing sa re ga ma, instead of doing that, do sa re. If you can go even slower, sa re, that will give you more control of the bow and also more understanding of how you can split that talam. Even to make it even further complex, take a slower tempo. Let me give you an example here. Now what I'm playing is 30 beats per minute in the background. Sa, if you can play 1 note, a quarter of 1 note in each beat, that will give you even more control for your note, and that will make your tone even better on violin. So I hope you understood the concept of why going slow. There are 2 reasons. One is comprehension, and second is improving your tone quality or control of your bow. So the slowest the better, but if you cannot follow the slower tempo, which is okay for every beginner, it's fine, you can use a slightly higher tempo. So I would recommend something somewhere between 50 and 60. So 50, 55 or 60. You can go up to 45 also to start off with. And once you are okay playing in 45, try even slower tempos. Do not start off with very slow tempo all at first, because you will have controlling issues on the bow. So once you are into, let's say, around 6 to 8 months on or 1 year, you can still do slower speeds, which is 35, 40. And also try to play, whenever you are playing the violin, try to play the entire bow. That is another part of you. If you want to go slower, your bow should also support you to go slower. So you have to play from one tip till the other. So from the base till the tip you will have to play, or else you won't be able to play pretty slow. If you are greedy, try to play one single bow for up to 15 seconds. If more greedy, you can try going for 20. Even more greedy, you can try for 30, then 40, then 50, then 1 minute. I cannot do 1 minute, but at least I can try for 15 seconds maybe. So you can also try going for 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 25, depending how greedy you are, right? So when you are trying to play with metronome, make sure you are in sync, okay? So when you are playing notes with tempo, you should make you change as per the tempo. You have to be in cue. It's called being in cue. So you have to cue yourself right and then play whatever lesson you're playing. So let's say I'll take an example of the first lesson, sari gama padanisa. I'm using 50 beats per minute. So in order for you to start off, maybe if you don't understand the tempo, just play just the bow. So you just change the bow for each click or each beat, and then you try playing the notations. So if you don't get each note right, stop, again cue yourself, and then restart. So if you are using a metronome application, there is something called clicks per beat. Most of the applications will have it. So if you are playing 1 click per beat, that means it will be 50 beats per minute. 1 click per beat. I'm playing 50 beats per minute, so I'm talking based on that. So when you make it 2 clicks per beat, it becomes double the speed, which is second speed for us. For you are playing 2 notes or 2 clicks per beat, right? So if you change your playing accordingly per click, then it will become second speed, which is something like this. Something like that. So if it goes again to 4 clicks per beat, it becomes your third speed, which is something like this. So if you are using a metronome application, you can change clicks per beat, but what is recommended from my end, do not change the clicks. Just keep the click the same, one click per beat. You try to, get the interval correct. So 2 clicks in one beat, how will that be? How will you change? And 4 clicks, how will you change your bow and your fingers? That will give you more control of your sense of rhythm or sense of tempo. Okay, that is another tip. Try this and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Just like my viewer asked, giving me content, you can also give me content, ask me questions. Maybe if possible, I'll be doing videos. That's all for today. See you in another video. Bye bye.